What's up, y'all, to another episode of Just Your Average Role Players. Today, we're not talking about sport. I mean, we are talking about sports, but we're not talking about the daily sports that's going on. We're talking about a topic that's true and dear to me. We're talking about the Desi experience in high school and upper level sports. I have two fellow guests with me that played varsity sports, so they know how it feels. And we also have another fellow D1 football player. You guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Nishant. You've seen me before. You can go.
I'm Kostov Chakrabarty from Athens, Georgia, University of Georgia.
This is something I hold like really endear to me because it's like one thing I do like to talk. It's your impact on the world, right? We all will live for a while and we all will eventually die, but it's almost what is your impact in the time that you live to your death? So one thing I hold really dear to me is how I can impact the upcoming Indians. Like a lot of times, like one really thing that I noticed in American society, the way we were portrayed, we have a lot of Ravis, like Sanjay and Kumar, like we have Baljeets, like we have a lot of stereotypical portrayals that are negative, nerdy, and like scrawny. And if you look at every other race, they have athletes, they have intelligence, they have every single portrayal in Hollywood and in social media that I feel like we don't just yet, or we just don't have it. So I feel like I'm not saying we're like the next things like, but I just want to shed light and possibly give hope to the other kids that believe that they can do sports. Like just because you're Indian should not hold you back from playing sports.
Hey, bro, you two are about to do that. Two D1 football players. First, we got one person that's the first Indian player in the SEC. You see him?
And then we got another one who's first Indian in what conferences?
The American Conference.
See
But
him?
like that's the thing too. It's not just about us. It's about inspiring constantly. Keep going
Yeah.
because
You guys are gonna do a lot, bro.
and it's not just about D1 athletes. It's all about you too, Nishan. Like varsity basketball that's something that's a high standard. Like
Yeah,
of appearance.
I
personally, like, I've actually never heard of an Indian player who plays varsity basketball.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like
that is,
basketball, like football, man. There's two of us. I've never heard of a basketball player until
yeah,
Nishan.
I really haven't either.
But
did.
but one thing, dude. Like I want to talk about my experience really quick before you guys get into yours. When I first stepped on field to my school, like people, like a coach, like invited me there. Like a coach wanted me to come play. I joined the magnet program there. But the first thing I heard, I will remember this to this day. I won't say any names, but a specific coach told me band practice is over there the second I step foot. And I thought at first I was like, oh, it's probably because I'm just skinny or it's probably this or that. And I realized I looked at the other freshmen next to me and they were all just as skinny as me. And I realized he never gave me the opportunity at first. And he was my coach too, like my position coach. And he never gave me the opportunity purely because simple of my race. A lot of people judged me and looked at me. And it's not really about my school because my school, I'm very lucky to go to my school because my school embraced their arms around me really quick. That was just that one specific coach, and that always sits with me because the first time I hit the field, the first thing I heard was the band practice is over there, band summer workouts is over there. That's how I entered the school, and I left the school with 20 plus offers, almost every single tackle record, and a lot of recognition from a lot of people. I'm very thankful for it, and I want that to be a continuing thing. I think a lot of kids would be discouraged if they heard that from the beginning. I think a lot of us, especially us three here, we're a lot more tough mentally because a lot of things, the little slight parts, the little attacks, the constant push down, a lot of kids can't handle. We handled because we're here, but I want to show kids there's a lot more than just there's a lot more. Like you can get to the spots we are, and you could probably even get higher. Who knows?
Um, yeah, so my starting experience with football was a little bit more, I guess, from the bottom because I didn't play football till my senior year. And similar to you, Si, like when I first came on, like people doubted me. Like they, were like, "Oh, you're not going to survive the workouts that we go through because your body's not built for it. You're a different race."
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard those words, I always thought, "Oh, race has everything to do with sports. Like if you're not a certain race, you can't play. If you're a certain race, you have to be best at it." So Initially I was hella discouraged. I was like, man, I just want to quit because everyone's judging me. Like the moment I step in the weight room, the moment I step on the field, it's like, okay, well, he's gonna be garbage anyway. So like I had to handle all the criticism and the judgment from the players and have to pretty much override it with my own self-confidence. Now, granted, when I graduated high school, to be straight up, I never played a down of high school football. I never played a down of high school football. I was bench. I think I was like seventh string defensive back. I no one gave me a chance. No one. I didn't have any offers. Nothing. It was just like pretty much a pastime, really. So
Hmm.
I was just um, pretty much bench throughout high school.
So what did you do to get to where you are now?
Put my head down, and I worked. So once I graduated high school, like I realized that I wanted to continue playing football. Um, Now, how committed I wasn't really committed. I was just like, oh, it would be cool if I did. And then I did some research and found out that the college I was going to, UGA, they have open walk on tryouts. So anyone can try out for the football team. So I asked myself, I was like, okay, well, here's my opportunity, but am I committed enough to chase after it? Because at a school like Georgia, you have like
It's SEC. It's top. It's the best of the best.
best of the best. So you would have the best athletes trying out, guys who've trained for this, guys who have mentally prepared themselves for something like this. So then that instant, I made a commitment to myself. I said, I'm going to try out for this team and I'm going to train my butt off. I know things didn't work out the way I wanted it to in high school, but the past doesn't matter when you're looking towards the future. You know, like when you're
Hmm.
driving a car, you can't look back if you're going to keep moving forward. So that's the mindset I approached it with. I paid, a lot of money for training for a good 7, 8 months leading up to the tryout date. And at the tryout, there was, I can't remember exactly how many guys there were, but I knew there were a bunch of guys who were bigger than me, stronger than me. I wouldn't say faster than me, but they were all, you would say that they had the size and the build to play football at the University of Georgia. So
Hmm.
at the tryout, there was 5 of us that really made it, and I was part of the 5. Interestingly enough, I was the smallest guy, the shortest guy. My hand span was the smallest. My wingspan was smallest. Everything about me was so small. Yet I outworked all the 6'4" dudes that were there that had played and had like 20 Division I offers coming out of high school, but they didn't go in from UGA. So like that's pretty much like my starting story of how I exactly got into UGA as a football player. Um, so yeah,
That's really inspiring. It's all about heart.
yeah.
One
It's
quick
really
thing.
inspiring because um, when I entered high school, I got really out of shape 'cause I found this thing called Nutella. You feel me? I was eating that like crazy. I got really big, but then going from ninth to 10th, I grinded. That year, I did really good in tryouts, but I wasn't as fast, and then I worked on that. 11th, I was one of the better play. I would say the first 3 of the days, I was like top 5 player there. Like I always say, people literally came up to me saying, "Oh, bro, you're on the team" and stuff like that. But the coach was like, "Oh, talking about potential." I'm like, "Bruh, what do you mean potential?" And then senior year, I got injured, but that's really inspiring. Your story right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing we all we've all got doors slammed on us without even like trying to step foot. Like we weren't even given the opportunity to step foot. And one thing I thought the same thing you did. Like when you brought it up, I was really shook because I didn't want to say it because I thought it was just me. I felt like it was because of my race. I wasn't able to dominate. Like I'm very lucky. I've grown a lot. Like my junior year to my senior, I hit a huge growth spurt for my freshman. Like both my parents are 6'5" and below. Like I'm very lucky. Me and my brother are like 6'1", and I still have another growth spurt coming up because I just turned 18. So, and my hand size, I have the smallest hand size on the whole team. Punters, kickers, everybody. So I understand what you're thinking. So I blamed myself. I'm like, oh, because I seen how we're molded in society. I seen how people are always constantly looking at us. I'm like, if I had these genetics, if I had this, if I had this, if I was that, I could have been a lot more. I could have been this. I could have done that. That was always my mindset when I was growing up. From like ninth to like until like ninth grade, I genuinely believed in Pop Warner and all that. I always used to think, dang, if I had this genetics, I could do this. If I was this color, I could have done this. And one moment, my 10th grade year, a scout came to our practice, right? And he was scouting a few players, right? And then my coach, like my 10th grade year to my 12th grade year, I had great coaching. My freshman year, that was a completely different staff. That was the most tough time I had, and just pushing through that was a lot. And there were a lot of great coaches, and they know who they are. They helped me push through those times. And my 10th grade to 12th grade, I had great coaching. The principals were great. Administrators, they helped me a lot. And that's what you're talking about. Like at first, it was really hard. Once you broke that mold in people's minds, it became a lot easier. And so, one coach, with pads, you can mix me as Hispanic or black or anything with my pads. So he's like, oh yeah, can I talk to him? And I was jogging over to him because my coach called me to, and I took off my helmet. And he kind of seemed discouraged when he seen my face, and I was kind of confused about it. Like I really didn't know what to do. So I was talking to my teammates about it, and they said it straight up. They're like, it took people a while to believe that an Indian can be athletic. Now, imagine a coach has never seen you and he's just going by school to school and just sees you. Like you stand out, but it's almost in a bad way. It was and like that always stuck with me and that drove me. Like it went from fear of like, dang, I might not do good because of the color of my skin. I might not have the genetics. My hands aren't big enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I don't have this height. I don't have this. And it became if they doubt me, if they, because that moment I felt like, okay, I'm good enough because he's seen me. And once I took off my helmet, he lost interest. So now I'm gonna keep pushing it until he has no choice but to offer me. I have no choice but to look at me, regardless of how I look. And that was like the changing moment for me. Like I don't know what your changing moments were, guys, but like that was like a big changing moment for me where I took pride almost in the sense of it.
For me, it was during our first team run. So team runs in college, for those of you who don't know, pretty much intense conditioning. And at a top program like
Torture.
Georgia, it gets pretty rough. And it was my first time, my first ever, I guess, experience as a college football player was the team run. I tapped out straight up during like the third quarter of the team run. I tapped out. I said, I can't do this anymore. So when I went back to my dorm that night, I thought to myself, I'm like, man, like I was so discouraged, and everyone else was discouraged because they were proven right that Indians were not athletic because they had that stigma in their heads. So I was thinking in my dorm, I was like, man, like this sucks. What do I do now? And so I came to a conclusion that, look, at the end of the day, I have to vouch for myself. So vouching for myself means I'm going to have to put in extra work outside of what I'm already doing with the team. Vouching for myself means whenever I do something good for the team, for myself, make myself look good, I have to overemphasize it. Not in a cocky way, not look like a douchebag, but look like someone who's confident in his abilities. So that Wednesday, like during workouts, like I guess I just like freed myself from this cage of narrow thinking that Indians can't be athletes. And it showed in the weight room, on the field, it showed. And the strength coaches were impressed. My on field coaches were impressed. My teammates were like, wow, we never expected something like this to come out of you. So I earned the respect of all my teammates. Now, the difference in high school and college is that in high school, none of my high school teammates respect me, but in college, everyone respects you. That's one good thing about playing college football anywhere,
I was
regardless.
just about to say, yeah, it's
Everyone's
it's a
grinded
lot
to get there
different.
to their
Yeah,
Yeah.
spot.
everyone respects you, regardless of where you're from, what you've been through, your skin color. Everyone respects you. So that was my changing moment. That team run, that specific moment.
Team runs, I agree with you 100%. Like sometimes when I think it's too hard for me, some like I'm I don't even think about myself. A lot like I asked like around, I asked the seniors and I like, what do you guys do in team runs? Because those like they're not only are they like intense, they're long, and the sun's beaming and it's hot, and they usually tell me, oh, I think about my mom, I think about my brother, I think about their lost ones, and that's when it just struck to me, and I was like, I think about I think about that line over and over and over. Band practices and not brand practice. And these upcoming freshmen, there's probably another Indian. There's probably another athlete Indian, and he probably heard that same line. And he might not have the strength. He might not have the will we did. But then if he hears stuff like this, if he sees in his mind, he won't be trained that, oh, it's my genetics or I'm this. He's gonna see I could do it because they did it too. You know?
That's
That's
paving the way.
That's why I feel like it's really important for like us to speak up on these things. And my teammates, I'm not gonna lie, like I got some best teammates. Like in
Oh
high school,
God,
you're kind of right. Like my
like
teammates, they be asking about culture, they be asking to try the food and everything. Like it's real
college
respect in
teammates be
college.
something else, bro. Like they're the best teammates that anyone can
Like they'll play some Indian music, they'll start dancing too. Like
Do
I know y'all seen the little wrist challenge, like it's
have.
fun. But in high school, you're right, bro. Like my first 2 years, bro, like I was sized. They were like, "Oh, you're not gonna make it. You're not doing this. You're not doing this and that." And like you said, you earn that respect. But I feel like I no every player earns respect on the field. But it felt different, you know, because like a lot of people when they earn their respect, it's like, "Oh, you're a good player." Mine's was just like how yours was. Oh, you can actually stick along or hold on.
Yeah,
Not
hold on with us. Yeah,
yeah. It's like almost like I don't know about you, but I heard this once and it kind of like blew my mind. You only got it because you're Indian. Like saying like I'm only
you mean?
like I remember okay, so I went to like a few camps. I don't know if you did like opening camps and this. And for one of the camps, I got camp MVP. Yeah, I didn't post the best 40. Yeah, but I didn't post the best times. But I dominated in 7-on-7. I dominated 1-on-1. So I got camp MVP. And I remember walking by and I heard multiple people and like it struck a nerve. They're like, oh, he only got it because he's Indian. It's just a good story. They look at us as good stories, not like we earned our spots to get here. So I remember turning around, like, how is it a good story? Your son couldn't get open on me. I guarded him all 7-on-7. He had one catch. So how is it a good story? And that makes no sense to me. It's like, yeah, it's a good story. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's great. Like when I
yeah,
saw your story, bro,
great.
I was happy. Like you saw me, I got into your DMs. I'm like, bro, that's great,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, that shit great.
But like, it's just like, but don't say that I only got it because my whole life I've been told I can't do it because of the color of my skin. So now don't say I did it because of the color of my skin, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, so like for those people who say that, man, all I have to say is just keep saying it because at the end of the day, like it's a
Motivation.
motivating factor for both of us. And like for me, like when I say that I vouch for myself, like this is the type of stuff that I vouch for myself on. Like when I remember someone was saying during the team run, "Oh, he dominated only because he Indian." Like it's a good story, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why because it's a good story for me, and it's a good story probably for the team too. Like someone who actually works their ass off, someone who's not exactly the prototypical norm of a college football player can actually play college football. So that's just how I handle it.
You guys' stories got me inspired, bro. I'm not
Bro,
even
it's
kidding.
it's it's it's, it's
Just
just
listening
like
to, it, I'm like, yo, you guys overcame so much just to get to where you guys are.
I mean, you did too, bro. Like, I
Right?
mean, like you got like no other better way to say you got fucked over, bro. Like I have a relationship with Nishan. Like Nishan's a very humble person. That's why he keeps speaking humbly. There's certain people that he knows that I know that got Division 1 basketball scholarships that we both know he is way better than. And like I said, his doors his was slammed on him before he even got the opportunity. And I, I can say this. Nishan won't say it, but I'll say it. If Nishan was any other race besides Indian, even Asian, bro. Like when I mean Asian, as in like east southern.
Yeah.
But if he would have got some offers. Like he has offer talent. He has athleticism of an athlete, a D1, D2 athlete. Play basketball with him. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Like he's acting very humble right now, but he's a perfect
Thanks,
testament,
bro.
bro. Like he simply got screwed over because of the color of his skin. And this is something nobody knows. But I remember meeting this, and one thing this is an attachment to that I want to emphasize to all Indian males: be prideful of Indian. Be prideful to be Indian, bro. Like I don't know if
Not
you guys
just
ever
males, bro.
experienced this.
Everyone.
No, no, man, women do a good job, man. They wear their saris, they show tradition, they do pride, bro. But it's like men, bro. But that's the thing though, like Indian women have what's the girl that married Nick Jonas?
Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, Veronica Choi. Like, she's a great role model. She's smart, wise, beautiful, all that. Bro, like, who do we have to look up to? Yeah, we have probably like nowadays we have like Hassan Minaj, but like those are like they're still young. Hassan's like 22 or something young, bro.
Hmm.
Like we don't have old like people to look up to, and that's what we got to present. Because I don't know if you guys experienced this in your school, but the Indian males, it's almost like not all of them, a few of them, it's like they don't they're ashamed of being Indian. Like they'll make jokes about their Indian cultures, they'll make Indian accents. Like your mom doesn't speak that very accent, bro. Like we have to have a pride, and that's what I feel like we're all doing, bro. Like as more and more athletes get pushed onto, and the more and more we, and that's the thing. Every opportunity I get, like every interview, everything, I talk about my culture. I talk about who I'm from. I talk about everything because we can't lose it. And you, like you said, you're putting on. You're not just putting on for yourself. You're not proving for yourself. You're proving for all of us, bro.
Yeah, and then I mean, like every chance you get, you have to advertise yourself.
Advertise
So like
exactly,
for
bro.
you, I mean, I keep on forgetting what conference is Central Florida in?
American Conference,
American Conference. So like you would say, like it sounds stupid, but you would say first Indian in the American Conference,
100%.
and the reason you would say that is not so you would look cool, but because when another Indian male sees that, like we're both
It's
Indians,
pride.
so we both know it's like,
I
oh,
don't think you understand my
yeah.
reaction when I saw your story, bro. I saw one of my friends send it to me, bro. I was
Dude,
genuinely happy. Like I showed my parents, I showed my brother. Like that's a sense of pride because
I
a lot of
remember
times
he
it
started
felt like I
texting
was
me right
alone,
away.
bro. A lot of times it felt like I was alone,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
that's what I'm talking about. Like that's why I want this.
Now,
Like
I
that's why I
mean,
want
if
to
it
get on
does
here and
make you
talk
feel
about it.
better, I do have a friend who is a year older than me, so he's a junior or redshirt sophomore. He plays football at Texas, a Kartik Akal. He's also a receiver.
You should have
So
hopped on too, man. We could have got to talking.
I mean, like,
Next time, next time.
I mean, like, I don't really know him that well.
Oh, I get you.
Like we've talked a couple times because I asked him for advice, but I don't really know him that well. But yeah, so he's like the first Indian, what, the Big 12. So
Exactly, bro.
like,
Like
there's people like us around the country, and I feel like if we band together,
we
we
banty. That's my
can.
point, bro. That is beautiful that you said that, and I want like I, and the more and more there are of us, bro, and the more reoccurrence it comes, bro, the more kids they look at it and they're like, dang, we can really do it. And that's what we have to instill in our minds. And not just we do it, but we do it with pride. We do it with our culture.
You know what we
It's a
should do? We
part of
should
it.
hold our own football camp, bro.
Exactly, bro. Like I
Only
was genuinely
That'd be
thinking about
fire
it,
if
bro.
you guys
Like
do that.
to get into like and we could do like something free just to get
yeah,
Indians involved in the sports. Cause I know a lot of my Indian friends, they love sports, but it's like they were kind of afraid because like that's the thing I love about my parents, bro. My parents let me play every single sport, no issue,
Same,
no
bro.
complaint, bro. That's a blessing that I had that, bro. Because I know a lot of my Indian friends, they're like, "Oh, my mom didn't let me play football because I'm very skinny or I didn't want to get hurt," and that we got to break that mold from our parents too. Like we're doing it, bro. We're Indian kids and we're doing it.
yeah, and I mean, like, I was just telling them before the podcast started, but you know, it also works the other way too because you can get injured and it can turn serious real quick. But the thing is, anything and everything you do in life can turn serious real quick. So you might as
Exactly.
Hmm.
well do something you
You
love.
love 100%.
Yeah.
Bro, it's been amazing talking to y'all, bro.
Yeah,
I
for real,
hope I
bro.
hope a lot of people like do find this interesting and like they do get inspired. It's not to say like we want to be your role models or anything. It's never like that. It's just more like we want to show you that it can be done. Like don't let
Yeah, yeah, it can
people's
be done. Like, oh wait, sorry, what you saying?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say like when I checked out Sai's profile, I was like, wow, UCF. Like, you know, I didn't think that I was the only one, but like still,
Mhm.
like just like a different conference. You know what I'm saying? Like the American Conference is still a great conference. UCF is a great school. Um, but it's just different. Like it's a different school. You see another Indian playing, it's like, wow, like it's
The
not just
pride, bro. Like you don't understand the
Mhm.
pride I
yeah,
had, bro.
pride. Like it's like okay, like there's like
Do you
a
guys ever play each other?
Well, I
maybe
mean,
maybe in the
probably
playoffs.
not, but
Yeah, maybe in
the
I'm gonna need
way
to
we're
come pull
looking,
up
we
to one
might
of
make
those
the
games.
playoffs. We might make
maybe
the
in the
playoffs.
playoffs, but
We
like
might have to meet y'all in the playoffs.
maybe in
Hey,
like
bro, I'm gonna need to pull up, bro. So I hook me up with tickets.
100%, bro.
we gonna have to give UCF the work if we pull up.
I don't know about
I
that
don't know
one, bro.
about
I
that,
don't know
man.
about that. Up and
Well, we
coming,
looking. We our defense
up
looking
and coming.
nasty this year, and our offense. They
What's
going
the
everything going
they
for
had
that,
the nation's #1 defense.
bro. Look at our offense, bro. We
That
can
is
get
We're
into this.
coming,
See,
bro.
this is a different story. We can get into this offline because UCF is looking different. Like
yeah,
you could have put us in the SEC and we would have made some real noise.
yeah.
This is one of the best UCF teams probably ever, bro. I'm just
And,
saying.
and so like to anyone who's watching this, like you see how exciting this gets once you're a part of something special. So us both,
Exactly, bro.
we're blessed to be a part of something special. UCF, UGA, great special program. So it's not like you have to be selected. It's like how hard will you work to be selected?
No, I feel
It's
you,
all
man.
about the hard work, bro. You gotta put in the hours.
Like I just want kids to believe, bro. Like that's the main thing. Just believe. You're not the only one. You're not everything you go through. Like this video isn't gonna stop people from judging us. They're still gonna judge us, bro, because they're
Probably
gonna
be even
see.
more now.
eh,
Yeah,
And but
probably even more.
but if you see like us doing it, it might be just one or two, three, four, wherever we are. There might be just like 8 of us in all of America. That's still 8 that we get to see. Instead of seeing a Baljeet on the screen, or obviously you turn that Saturday night on, bro, you see a UGA receiver, bro. Like when I saw receiver too, I'm like, okay, yes, sir. Like
You
that, like,
what you play linebacker?
bro,
They
a little
y'all
mix
gonna
of
get
both.
lined up against each other one
I know. I
time.
told him if I see
Like,
him in
well,
the
I mean,
slot, it's gonna be different.
yeah, because like I play slot.
He's gonna be coming in the middle. He's gonna be doing that
Yeah,
slant
run that
slant
little
route.
slant route. Nishan, I know you on my page, but I said run that little slant route. It's gonna be a different
Boom.
play.
because like because I'm 5'7", 160 pounds. So like I mean I could give you some of that work, you know. It's not,
Oh,
I'm
he
six
said he
one,
about
one
to
ninety
juke
five.
you.
It's different here.
He
It's
said he gonna
different
dust
here.
you, bro.
Hey,
I
that
mean,
speed is something else, though. I got safeties for a reason now. I got safeties for a reason.
um, but yeah, like no, I mean at the same time though, like back to what I'm gonna go back to what I was saying like maybe 2 minutes ago about like college teammates, they keep it 100, bro. So like, ain't nobody gonna hate for this, like, and that's something that I'm really blessed to have because, like, and I'm trying to like think about any teammates that I have that were in any way negative to me. No, all of them are supportive.
Supportive
They're
as hell,
there for
bro.
me, not
Fire.
just for football, for school, for girls, for life, like everything.
I
They're
feel you.
there.
I know. Bro. Like that's the one thing, bro. Like college sports is a lot different than high school, bro. Like yeah, it's a business, and yeah, it's cutthroat, but like it's a family, bro. Like that's one thing I'm kind of blessed to have. Like my junior and sophomore year, I mean my junior and senior year in high school, it was a family. Like even on the football team, like my senior year, bro, like our team went through a lot for football, bro. Like in high school, we went through a lot of coaching situations, a lot of players, a lot of all these situations happened. And I told them I'm not going nowhere, and I'm gonna put them on, and that's what happened. Like it's a family, bro. And that's the thing in college, bro. It's a family, bro. Like that's the one thing I love. And my teammates are just as supportive about this and be trying to push me. They be like the camp thing you brought up. They been told me to do that, and like we should really get together. Like we could set up a camp like in a few locations, bro. If we can really get this funding, we can do that, bro. And that will
For
set up
sure, get the
a big
funding, bro.
change, bro. Like
Yeah. And I mean now I will say one thing though. So hard work will take you places, but talent has a big role to say. Now, with that being said, talent, of course, it's a big thing. I personally, I don't think that hard work beats talent. I think that they both beat each other. And now, with that being said, everyone has talent if you think about it, because all you have to do is come up with the solution in your mind that you are going to commit to something that you want to do. That's talent. Having the talent to commit to something, like that's something
Hmm.
big. I don't think people think about that enough because, like, let's say for football, like when you commit to a college, you have to be talented enough to say, okay, I'm gonna commit to that school. I'm gonna commit my time, my energy, my abilities to that school
the
over any.
mindset, yeah,
Yeah,
Hey,
hundred
hard work
percent.
beats talent when talent don't work hard.
yeah. Now
That
that's
cool.
yeah. I believe that takes effect on the field because at plenty of D1 schools I've seen on YouTube. Now I haven't seen at UGA, but I've seen it on like YouTube and shows like 5-star athletes turn to like bench warmers by
Yeah,
their senior year. So
hundred
like
percent.
Hmm.
because players be coming in like entitled, like, oh, he's Indian. Never mind. Like, I don't have to work. But once I outwork you and get in that starting spot,
That's
that's
a
when you
hundred
have a
percent thing
problem.
too. Like
Bro,
a lot of
even
people.
Patrick Mahomes, he was a 3-star.
Yeah.
He outworked everywhere.
That's the thing too. A
Like,
lot of people, it's like they're acting like we made it. Just I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that. Like, oh, congratulations! Like you made it. It's not just I made it because I got here. I'm trying to start. I'm trying to make some noise. Like I'm trying to make a big play and then get the interview at ESPN. And when I get the interview with me, I'm gonna put on them too. Like I wanna. This
all
is
right,
just the
and make
beginning.
those plays, bro. Come
Got
on,
to, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like
come on.
Bro,
You gotta make them
this is
this.
just a this is a
get
When
that
up.
pick six in the playoffs.
Exactly. When I see that slant route come
when,
across, and then they go like, "How was the interaction?" About, oh, I saw my fellow Indian brother had to line up on it real quick.
yeah. I saw my fellow Indian linebacker. I had to like make the catch, like not go.
You can't do that. It's
Had to put him on the
Indian
floor.
crime. Exactly. Indian not Indian
When's y'all's
crime.
first game?
Bro, it's in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, our first game is September 26th at Arkansas.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I'm gonna
we play
definitely
a
tune
only
in.
yeah, we play a only conference schedule this year.
Yeah, you guys got only
Mm.
conference. It's about the same thing for here. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like on campus though at UCF. Hold up. I'm gonna get into it after. I'm gonna get into it after the video. But look, that's been a good video, guys.
You
Like,
guys got anything to say before we end the video?
nah, guys, wear a mask when you guys go outside. Be safe. It's been a great video. I appreciate having
Yeah,
you on as a
Our
guest. It means a
Instagrams,
lot.
YouTubes, and stuff will be down below.
You
yeah.
guys,
I mean, like, wear a mask, stay
Facts.
safe, socially distance, and if you have a dream, chase after that bitch.
we gotta work hard for it too.
That's a perfect ending. Peace.